boxing's biggest fights are massive cultural events. And when you get two of the greatest fighters who've ever lived, you're about to witness the best moment in sport. And that moment is now upon us.
I've done it all, and I've seen it all. Yeah, they doubted me, but I beat them all.
Terrence Crawford, the best in the world.
He remains undefeated.
I got all the belts on my waist and on my shoulder. This is the Terrence Crawford era.
Who do you want next?
Well, y'all already know who I want.
The undisputed super middleweight champion of the world.
This is a resume that is Hall of Fame worthy.
He's the king of boxing. I'm the greatest the world's and the best to ever do it.
Que esta pelea lo que se ha llevado en torno, lo que la gente ha querido ver, es mucho más grande que las demás.
This is a fight that's been marinating for years. I've been preparing my whole life for this moment. This is one of them fights that will be talked about forever.
Canelo Alvarez, one of the greatest Mexican boxers of all time. All of Mexico is marching with him. Viva Mexico, cabrones! Terrence Bud Crawford. He is on a whole nother level.
It doesn't get any bigger than this.
This is truly a super fight.
The sport of boxing will change forever.
Welcome to the Contender Series.
These are the best of the best from around the world. The amount of talent that's coming out of this show is insane.
Nearly a third of the UFC roster have come through Contender Series.
So many of those have gone on to do big things.
This show has created UFC world champions.
The question is, who's next?
If you want to get into the UFC, show me who you are. Be excited to be here. Be fired up to fight. That is what this show is all about.
This is your moment to shine. Jimmy, my God, God!
This is the best show on television, and it's definitely the best show on Tuesday nights. You are out of your mind if you're not watching the Contender Series on Tuesday night.
Saturday, October 25th. UFC returns to Abu Dhabi for Showdown Week, a 7-day series of citywide events before taking in UFC 321.
Tom Aspinall against the #1 contender, Gane, for the ultimate prize.
Live from Etihad Arena. Don't miss the greatest fan experience in all of combat sports. UFC 321, live in Abu Dhabi.
What's up, Paris? Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us for the UFC 321 press conference. UFC 321 Aspinall versus Gane takes place Saturday, October 25th at the Etihad Arena in Abu Dhabi, UAE. And it's hosted in partnership with Abu Dhabi's Department of Culture and Tourism, DCT. Tickets are now available via ticketmaster.ae, while hotel packages are available via etihadarena.ae. Anyway, we're all here for the press conference. Tom Aspinall versus Gane. Now making the walk, France's own, the former interim heavyweight champion of the world, fighting out of Paris, France, Cyril Gane! And now introducing the newly crowned, undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Manchester's own, Tom Aspinall! All right, so that's enough from me. Who's got the first question?
Right here. Start off with the champion, Tom Aspinall. Tom, you said in the past after the Sergey Pavlovich fight, you were asked, you said, is Cyril Gane the next challenger for you? And you said, no, he's going to have to wait. He needs another fight. He doesn't deserve it. He needs to fight Jailton Almeida. He went out. He got the win against Volkov. So now that he's sitting across from you, do you believe that he deserves the title shot right now?
C'est une première question pour Tom. La question après le combat contre Pavlovich, il a été demandé si Cyril Gane il était prêt ou pas pour combattre pour la ceinture. Et la réponse était non, qu'il devait d'abord faire ses preuves. Il a fait ses preuves, Cyril. Donc maintenant, qu'est-ce qu'il a à dire à Cyril?
There was nobody else to fight. I'll just Cyril, you just do your thing, man. You just do your thing. I'll just chill.
Écoutez, il n'y avait personne d'autre avec qui combattre et tu sais quoi, Cyril, parle parce que je te laisse faire.
And question for Cyril Gane. Cyril, Tom said in multiple interviews, in the past, he wants somebody to take him into deep waters in the UFC because he wants to know if he can swim. Obviously, he's never been past the second round. Why are you the guy that's going to be able to drag Tom Aspinall into deep waters? And more importantly, how do you think he's going to react once he gets there?
Cyril, Tom, il a dit dans plusieurs interviews qu'il veut être testé à l'UFC parce qu'il n'a jamais passé le deuxième round. Donc, est-ce que tu penses être la personne qui peut le tester? Et comment est-ce que tu penses que Tom va réagir une fois que tu le testes?
Merci beaucoup. Pour répondre à cette question, je pense vraiment que Tom a sa réponse. Il sait très bien que dans la catégorie, j'ai un style un peu différent des autres. On sait très bien que je suis plus un gars qui est capable de finir très fort sur 5 rounds plutôt qu'au premier. Donc je pense que tout le monde connaît déjà la réponse.
To be honest, I think Tom has the answer already. He knows I'm a little bit of a different fighter in the division, but I fight in a different way, but I'm sure that Tom will be able to come up with an answer if he's thrown to it. We'll just have to see when the fight happens.
And question for Cyril. It's your third opportunity to fight for the undisputed title, and you're against Tom Aspinall, who we know trains all the time. He lives, breathes MMA. How invested are you, and how much did you train for this fight, and if more than before?
Cyril, on sait que c'est sa troisième opportunité pour combattre pour cette ceinture contre quelqu'un comme Tom Aspinall qui vit le MMA, qui respire le MMA. Donc, parle-nous un petit peu de ta motivation pour ce combat et à quel point justement tu t'es entraîné pour ce combat.
On sait que mon dernier combat c'était en décembre. Depuis décembre, j'étais en convalescence tout le mois de janvier. Mi-janvier, février, on a fait la rééducation avec mon kiné Azine que j'aperçois juste là-bas. T'inquiète pas, je t'ai vu. On a fait la convalescence comme il se devait et on a fait les choses d'une manière extrêmement sérieuse et on a repris les entraînements depuis mars. Et vous aurez remarqué que depuis mars, vous ne m'avez pas vu ni à la Champions League, ni je ne sais où à la Formule 1, ni je ne sais où. On est resté très concentré sur les entraînements. Je pense que vous l'avez ressenti et vous avez vu juste. Et je pense qu'on sait vraiment, ce camp-là pour moi sera les meilleurs de toute ma carrière, sans aucune hésitation. On a vraiment tout fait pour monter les curseurs au maximum et j'espère que ça va payer.
Well, as you know, my last fight was back in December. Then during the months of January and February, I was resting a little bit. I had a bit of time away through an injury, recovering from that. But since March, I've really been training, giving it my all. I've not been playing PlayStation or going to the Champions League, watching other events like, you know, some of the others. I've been really training, so I'm concentrated. I think everyone's been able to see that. It's been probably one of the best camps in my career, and obviously I'm ready to get the job done this time around.
And a question for Tom Aspinall. Of course, the easy thing would be to, I guess, for you, try to take Cyril to the ground and try to work from there. Is it obviously going to be the game plan, or are you going to try to strike with Cyril?
No, I think that if I hit anybody, I can knock anybody out. And I think that Cyril is no exception, but obviously there are some weaknesses in his ground game that we've seen, but I'm sure he's improved. Do you know what I mean? This is an MMA fight, it can go anywhere, so I'm sure we'll both be ready for anything.
La question c'était, est-ce que c'était le game plan, c'est celui simple d'amener Cyril au sol? Et la réponse, écoutez, moi je pense que je suis capable, quand je frappe quelqu'un, de mettre n'importe qui par terre. Évidemment, Cyril, il a des lacunes au sol, mais je pense qu'il a très bien travaillé et on verra ce qui se passe.
Question for Tom. Tom, you were originally supposed to fight John Jones for the belt. Now it's Cyril. So my question is simple. Considering that Jones is nearing the end and Cyril is in his prime, who do you consider the biggest test right now?
Cyril's the guy I'm fighting, so he's the biggest test right now. John Jones is retired, so I don't really have much to say on that, to be honest. So I'm fighting this guy, and this guy's really good, so I'll be as ready as I can be.
La question pour Tom, c'était si Jones ou Cyril était la menace la plus grande. Et la réponse, c'est tout simplement, c'est contre Cyril que je combats. Donc c'est lui la menace. Je suis concentré sur lui, donc je ne sais pas vraiment quoi répondre parce que c'est Cyril et que Cyril.
Question pour Cyril, mon gars. Cyril, la question elle est simple. The question is simple. Do you consider Tom Aspinall as your biggest test right now in your career? Est-ce que tu considères Tom comme ton plus gros test actuellement?
Aujourd'hui, Tom est le champion. Donc, bien évidemment qu'aujourd'hui, Tom sera mon plus gros test. Au-delà de ça, au-delà du statut, je pense que Tom, vous le savez tous, c'est quelqu'un de très complet. On l'a vu dans ses combats. La particularité de tout ce qu'on a vu dans ses combats, c'est qu'il n'a jamais combattu une personne comme moi, avec des aptitudes et des qualités comme les miennes. C'est ce qui va donner un combat intéressant. C'est ce qui va donner un combat intéressant.
You know, Tom's the defending champion. He's really the man to beat at the moment. However, he's also an all-round fighter. He's never fought someone like me, though. I bring something very different. I've got my own very particular style. So I think that's something that he's going to have to contend with.
Question for Cyril. You've been criticized a lot about your ground game since the last title fight. Can you tell us about your adjustment you've made on this level?
Cyril, juste une question sur ton jeu au sol, tes tactiques au sol. Tu as été évidemment très critiqué dans le passé là-dessus. Donc, est-ce que tu peux nous parler de comment peut-être tu t'es amélioré pour ce combat dans cet aspect?
Parfois la vie elle est étrange. Celui qui pense que j'ai jamais travaillé mon sol, étant un combattant venu de la boxe thaï, je pense que forcément cette personne se trompe. Aujourd'hui, moi j'ai toujours évolué dans une team avec un coach extrêmement compétent, Fernand Lopez, que ce soit moi, que ce soit Francis, même si parfois on a eu des combats où ça s'est pas passé comme on voulait. Croyez-moi qu'il y a une expertise qui fait qu'on bosse énormément notre sol et donc à moi de le montrer tout simplement.
You know, sometimes life is a little bit strange because some bad results and then people think that you've never worked on your ground game, on your grappling. But believe me, as someone who's come from Thai boxing as well, I've got a team behind me by my coach, Fernand Lopez. We've worked on our ground game. These are experts. We know exactly what we're doing. Sometimes I've not been able to show it, and that's on me. But this time, believe me, I've been working, and hopefully I can show it this time around.
Emil Sardarian from Stand 'Em Up. I got a question for Tom Aspinall. Tom.
One question.
Obviously, you've defended your interim title once already. Do you feel like this is your second title defense, or is the interim belt and the actual belt different for you?
To be honest, I don't really care about belts and stuff. I just care about my next fight. Cyril's my next fight. He's the guy I'm focused on. This fight's been simmering for a long time, do you know what I mean? We both got in the UFC around the same time. We've been talking about this fight for a long time, so I'm just ready to fight this guy already and take him out.
La question c'était si oui ou non Tom il considère que ça c'est une défense de ceinture ou justement une nouvelle ceinture. Et la réponse est très honnêtement je m'en fous des ceintures. Cyril et moi on a rejoint l'UFC plus ou moins au même moment. Ça fait longtemps que ce combat il se devait faire, ça fait longtemps qu'on parle de ce combat. Donc vous savez quoi, maintenant c'est à nous de combattre et c'est tout.
You've been training a lot with Rico Verhoeven, a long-standing champion. You've said that you've been picking his mind a lot, right? And what have you been able to take away from him, from a guy that has been champion for over 10 years?
Yeah, me and Rico have been training together for a long time. Rico's actually coming to England next week to help me prepare for this. Rico's the best kickboxer ever. So when I'm fighting another guy with a heavy kickboxing style, of course, I need to do that. But you know, this is an MMA fight. He's got a good team. He's been working on his ground game, like you just said. I appreciate that. I see that. And I've got to be ready for everything. But when we're talking about Rico, Rico's the best to ever kickbox, and he's helping me. So I always appreciate that, of course.
La question c'était Rico Verhoeven est venu s'entraîner avec Tom Aspinall, il s'entraîne avec lui, donc qu'est-ce qu'il lui a apporté à son jeu? Et la réponse est tout simplement c'est le meilleur kickboxer de tous les temps et quand on doit combattre contre quelqu'un qui fait du kickboxing, eh bien c'est essentiel de s'entraîner avec le meilleur. Je sais que Cyril a dit qu'il s'entraîne sur son jeu au sol, j'apprécie le fait qu'il le fait, je suis conscient qu'il le fasse, mais ça reste un kickboxer et donc moi je m'entraîne avec les meilleurs. Il arrivera en Angleterre la semaine prochaine pour que je puisse m'entraîner avec lui.
Thank you to both and good luck.
Bon courage à tous les deux.
Simone Tata for Fight for Yours. Question for Tom Aspinall. People have been speaking about this fight for quite a while, even before the John Jones saga. And it's always been painted as the evolution of the heavyweight division. Now you're much more of a favorite, and you're seen as much more of a favorite. Do you see any difference in the matchup compared to maybe a couple years ago when people started talking about it?
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is we're both better. We're both better now than we were a few years ago. We both have a lot more experience. You know, Cyril's had 2 title shots already. I defended the interim title. I now hold the undisputed title. So I think this fight's going to be better, and I think it's pretty rare that you see any guys of our size that move like we do. So I think this is really like the new age of the heavyweights, and people are really going to start to see the difference now between guys like us and guys 10 years ago.
La question c'était, même avant que le combat contre Jones devait se faire, on parlait beaucoup d'un combat potentiel entre Tom Aspinall et Cyril Gane, et la réponse est oui, évidemment. Ce qui a changé, je pense que c'est maintenant, on est tous les deux meilleurs. Et l'évolution du sport, l'évolution de la division poids lourd fait que, avant, c'était inconcevable qu'on voyait des mecs de notre taille bouger et frapper de la façon qu'on fait. Et je pense que le sport, la division en général, va continuer d'aller dans cette direction. Mais nous, on est meilleurs que ce qu'on était il y a 3 ou 4 ans, ça c'est sûr.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, man. Musa from Boxmag. First question for Tom. You were the hunter before, now you're the prey. Cyril Gane looking for the belt. How do you feel about the change of dynamic?
I've always wanted to fight anybody. It never really bothered me who I fought. I always wanted to fight with the guy with the belt. Now I've got the belt, now guys are going to start coming after me, which is great because I've never been picky who I fight. I wanted to fight Cyril for a long time, and the fight's finally happening, and I'm happy with it.
La question pour Tom, c'était avant, c'était le chasseur, maintenant c'est la proie en étant le champion. Et la réponse est tout simplement, écoutez, moi je m'en fous de ça. Je voulais combattre contre Cyril depuis bien longtemps, qui est champion ou pas, ça m'est égal. Donc je suis très content que ce combat il se fasse.
Question for Tom Aspinall. You said you don't really care about the belts, you really want to prove you're the best. Is there any other fighter in the heavyweight division that you feel you need to beat to prove that you are the best, other than Cyril Gane?
Yeah, there's lots of guys, man, but I'm the kind of guy who doesn't look past my opponent. I'm very, very serious about this fight. I've been training for the last year without a break. I've had absolutely no breaks. I'm much better now than I was in my last fight. And I want to show that. But as far as other heavyweights and stuff, right now that doesn't really interest me.
Same question for Cyril Gane. On sait qu'il y a un combattant que tout le monde pense dont tu as peur, Jailton Almeida. Est-ce que tu penses que battre un autre combattant de cette catégorie, ça pourrait prouver que tu es bien le meilleur? Est-ce que c'est quelque chose qui te tient à cœur?
Et répète le début de ta question.
Est-ce que ce qui te tient à cœur, c'est vraiment la ceinture seulement, ou est-ce que tu veux battre les meilleurs combattants de la catégorie pour prouver que tu es le meilleur heavyweight?
Pour moi, avoir la ceinture veut dire qu'on fait partie des meilleurs, qu'on est le meilleur même de la catégorie à l'instant T. Donc je ne comprends pas ce discours de dire je veux juste affronter les meilleurs. Je pense que pour avoir la ceinture, tu es obligé d'affronter les meilleurs. Pour moi, ça revient au même.
Merci Cyril.
It was the same question for Cyril, and to be honest, I don't really understand the point of not wanting to fight against the best, because if you have the belt, then you are the best. So I don't really understand that logic in terms of the answer. I'm going for the belt to be the best.
All right, that's it for the questions. I'm sure you all agree it's going to be a tremendous fight. Let's get this stuff out of here, and let's get these guys squared off. Thank you.
Saturday, October 25th, UFC returns to Abu Dhabi for Showdown Week, a 7-day series of citywide events before taking in UFC 321.
Tom Aspinall against the #1 contender, Cyril Gane, for the ultimate prize.
Live from Etihad Arena. Don't miss the greatest fan experience in all of combat sports. UFC 321, live in Abu Dhabi.
I'm so hyped for this.
Let's go!
Nassourdine Imavov!
He is coming to be a champion, and he was all the smoke.
Kyle Bohalyo!
He is so dangerous in every phase of the fight.
Benoit Saint-Denis!
Mauricio Rufy!
Inside the Accor Arena for UFC Fight Night
On ESPN+.